created a media platform called InfoWars, and in the decades since, it's grown into a truly remarkable institution with over 200 radio affiliates, tens of millions of unique website visitors monthly, and a 24/7 live news TV channel broadcasting from state-of-the-art studios in Austin, Texas. InfoWars has become the most trusted independent news source in the country, dedicated to delivering breaking news, live coverage of special events, and exclusive reports you won't find anywhere else. While the old guard media struggles to maintain supremacy in a landscape rocked by innovation and technology, InfoWars has been at the forefront of the information revolution. From 8 million radio listeners, over 2 million YouTube subscribers, or the billions of views of our online content, InfoWars proves dominant in every facet of media we enter. For the hardest-hitting reports, uncompromising analysis, for high-profile interviews and bombshell revelations, accept no substitutes. Demand truth. Demand InfoWars. InfoWars. Tomorrow's news today.
Well, if you want next year's news today, you have found the place, Infowars.com. If you go back to January 20th, 2017, myself and Roger Stone were live at the inauguration on the street and in a studio saying over and over again, Trump must launch a DOJ criminal investigation of illegal spying by the Obama campaign, by the Hillary campaign against President Trump. He said it over and over again that illegal spying by the Hillary campaign through Obama's DOJ, NSA, CIA. And they even had that very day people like Chuck Schumer going, the intelligence community has 7 ways from Sunday to get you. And we're going to punish you, and we're coming for you. And remember, Brennan famously said 2 days before the inauguration to President Trump, you better watch your mouth. I mean, these are some of the most arrogant people that the world has ever seen. They are absolutely, totally, and completely arrogant and insane and out of their minds. And I'm going to recap all of it and roll through all of it. But the reason the media hates us and the reason the globalists have us targeted number one after Trump is they tune in and they hear what they know is really going on. And they say, how on earth do these people know all this? Well, we know how you guys operate. We know your history. We know your MO. We know you're very robotic about how you repeat the same things over and over again. And you guys are very badly disciplined. You go on print media, you go on TV media, you go on radio, and you blabber about what you're going to do to everybody. And then later, you think we have no memory, and you say you never did it. So we knew you were illegally spying on Trump because that's what you do. You're a bunch of crooks. And you were continually having pieces of information that weren't leaked. They were being gleaned from wiretaps. They were being gleaned by electronic surveillance. And Trump knew that during the campaign. Trump knew that when he was president-elect. Trump had a consortium of paramilitary organizations and groups counter-surveilling all of you when you were spying on him. And man, did he set you up. He set you up so bad when you committed all those crimes and you perjured your souls to Congress and you lied to everybody in the media. And that's why I want to cue this up first, and I've already played it twice. That's what Giuliani said on Fox News last week. He said, we're ready to tear you apart. You want to end this peacefully? Go ahead and stop now for the betterment of the country. But if you want us to tear you apart, we're going to tear you apart. That's not a threat. That's called an ultimatum. Here it is.
They should do it today. I mean, as soon as possible. I think that they have the facts from which they can write their report. If you're going to write a fair report, fine, write it. If you're going to write an unfair report, write it, and we will combat it. We're ready to rip it apart. And we're ready to rip them apart if that's what they want. We would rather peacefully settle this and get it over with.
Rudy Giuliani.
Thank you.
Always great to see you.
It's really, really bad, folks. When we come back, I'm going to get into all of it. There's so much other news. The election in Venezuela of the dictator. If you believe that's a real election, I got a bridge I'll sell you. Their whole illegal spy network coming down. It's happening over in Hawaii. I meant to get to this Friday. Fox News covered it last night. NAACP leader said racially profiled, but then the body cams released. The police officer totally polite. Well, the NAACP leader went further. He made up a bunch of lies. So we're going to cover all that coming up as well. Well, it's official. The DOJ has confirmed that the Inspector General is probing in a criminal investigation the Obama administration, the Hillary campaign, the head of the National Office of Security, the head of the CIA, the Director of National Intelligence. All of them are being criminally probed for the illegal spying on the Trump campaign when the president was just a candidate, when he was a nominee, when he was the president-elect, and they kept doing it even after he was president with their stay-behind networks inside the 17 agencies. And they also had human intelligence on the ground, not just the professional.
How does a man with no ID and no transportation get from upstate New York to Northern California? It's more than 4,500 kilometers as the crow flies, but that is the mystery officials are trying to solve after a missing Toronto firefighter turned up in Sacramento 6 days after disappearing while skiing near Lake Placid. Now to the latest on a mysterious case doesn't appear to be anywhere close to being solved.
Investigators are still trying to figure out how a skier who claims he got caught in a snowstorm in New York ended up in California. New York State Police have interviewed the skier who disappeared from Whiteface Mountain and ended up across the country, but we still don't know what happened.
49-year-old Constantinos Danny Filipides, a fire captain in Toronto, told police he was on a ski trip in New York with friends out in the Adirondacks. He went out for one last run and says he got caught in a storm and he believes he hit his head. And somehow he ended up in a big rig, he says, going to the West Coast. In the meantime, investigators say none of the big rig companies and drivers they've spoken to remember taking them anywhere. Police found him in Sacramento, about 3,000 miles from here. At the time, he had already gotten a new haircut, cash, and a new iPhone. They say they plan on speaking with him again. Now, several news groups have tried calling barbershops in Sacramento near the area where the skier was located. They, too, have not found out who cut his hair.
More details are emerging in the mysterious case of the Toronto firefighter missing in New York State and then found in California.
And we spoke to a Sacramento police officer today, and he describes this case as an odd one. In fact, he says in 18 years, he's never seen anything like it.
The small community of St. John has been stunned with the perplexing disappearance of a retired attorney from the Isle of Man. Mark Maroney, a resident of St. John, has been missing since Sunday evening from his home in the Chocolate Hole area of St. John. According to reports, Maroney went outside of his home around 8 p.m. to retrieve a flashlight from his car during a power outage, but he has not been seen since. The Virgin Islands Police Department discovered the deceased body of an older man in a steep, heavily wooded area of St. John at about 3:55 p.m. on Friday, the 23rd of February. The body was clothed in a pants type similar to that of the missing St. John resident Mark Maroney.
Every month in almost every state, people go into the wilderness and don't come out.
Stories like that are what fuel David Politis. Forever rifling newspaper archives and badgering federal agencies for public records, he's discovered more than 400 cases of people who wandered into the wilderness but never came back.
There are so many missing kids in Oregon, it's ridiculous.
Accounts of children, people, vanishing, seemingly swallowed up by the many endless forests across America, or even later found in ways that defy logic.
But still at a loss to explain what happened over 20 years.
As I'm sure you know, Black Lives Matter have been pressuring police departments across the country to force their officers to wear body cameras, thinking that it's going to capture white police officers being racist to black suspects on tape and will prove the massive conspiracy against them. So there's a lot more police officers wearing body cameras these days, and what the footage is showing is that there's an epidemic of black people either hallucinating or lying about racist interactions with police officers. And then the police departments released the unedited footage from the body camera, which recorded the entire interaction, apparently unbeknownst to the black people, which then proves that they are complete liars or complete paranoid schizophrenics who hallucinate racism that's not there. Here's what the president of the South Carolina NAACP wrote on his Facebook page. That's the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. After he was pulled over for turning without using his signal. And then I'll show you the actual body cam footage, and we'll see what really happened. He posted this very detailed transcript of the dialogue that he says occurred between him and the officer when he says, "Hello, how may I help you, sir?" The officer said, "I'm pulling you over because you failed to use your turn signal. Do you have any drugs in the car?" Because the car's a Mercedes, he says that the officer asked him, "Where do you work? And whose car is this? And why are you in this neighborhood?" He says he responded, "Sir, I am a pastor, and I live in the house on the left." "Oh, you're a pastor?" The officer responded, "And I guess I am Bill Gates." "I'll ask for the last time, whose car is this? Why are you in this neighborhood?" Wow, this guy sounds like a dirty cop. Let's watch the body camera footage and learn some more.
Hey, how are you? I'm all right. I'm Officer Miles with the Taylorsville Police Department. Yes, sir. Got your license, registration, proof of insurance on you? Okay, that's fine. Go right ahead. Are you the owner of the motor vehicle?
Yes, sir. I just transferred.
You just transferred? Okay. What's your name?
Jamie Moore.
Okay. You got your driver's plus on you? But the reason why I'm coming in contact with you is whenever you took the left right here, you didn't signal. Okay, that's the only reason why I'm coming in contact with you, okay?
Wow, it looks like absolutely nothing in your Facebook post was true, except you got pulled over for turning without using your signal. Maybe the racist part happened when the cop returned to the vehicle after running his ID. Let's check back in with the footage.
All right, Ms. Morgan, here you go, okay? Registration. Try not to drive the car no more until you get the proper documentation, because this registration has to come back to 1992, okay, GMC truck. You'll see it in the system as that too, but what I'm saying, you got to have the proper registration and everything, and insurance and all that stuff to actually indicate that plate comes back to this motor vehicle, okay? Because when I run the plate, it's still coming back to this. It's not coming back to your car.
Okay, I understand that, but look, I just bought the car the other day. I switched the tags.
Well, you probably need to go to the DMV and ask them how come it's not registered in the state of South Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles. It's still coming back to that truck.
I understand that. That's what I'm telling you. I switched the tags from the truck to the car. They told me at DMV, the dealer put that on there to show that the tags will be transferred.
Right.
And all I need to do is keep this registration in there. And
they told you wrong. You got to have the proper documentation in your motor vehicle that actually matches the car that you're operating on South Carolina highways in order for it to operate on South Carolina highways. They told you wrong, okay? All right. Other than that, there's your driver's license. Just make sure you wear your seatbelt at all times while operating motor vehicle on South Carolina highways and drive safe, okay?
Wow, he let him off without a ticket and told him to wear his seatbelt and be sure to drive safe. You racist scumbag cop. Didn't ask him why he was in that neighborhood. Didn't ask him if there was any drugs in the car. Didn't insinuate that he didn't belong in that neighborhood. Made no reference to Bill Gates. This police officer should actually sue this scumbag for defamation. This woman posted an almost 12-minute tearful video on her Facebook page that went viral after she got pulled over crying about the racist police officer. Let's listen to what she had to say. Then let's take a look at the body cam footage and see what really happened.
Hi, everybody. This is Dawn. I'm driving. I typically would not drive and do a FaceTime video, but I am just
breaking the law.
Virginia. I can't even tell you what town.
You're a distracted driver right now.
What town I'm in Virginia? I think Suffolk County or some town in Virginia. And I just was threatened by this police officer, and I want all of my African Americans and people of color that are out there are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. And I went to get a check-in on our people, but I'm on this route called 58 West. It's right off in between Virginia as you go to Richmond. It's a cut through between Norfolk and Richmond, and I have had a traumatic experience. And I want the people who are not African American, who know me, to really get where we're coming from. Every time when I saw the police pull up behind me, the state trooper, I was immediately afraid. I was on the phone with my cousin Patrice, and I had her on speaker because I was on Bluetooth. I'm in the car. The man threatens to pull me out of the car. You know, we shouldn't be afraid to drive and get pulled over by the police. And I'm telling you, I showed him my license, asked him why I was stopped, and he said that I was going 70 and a 65, or 60 and a something like some kind of small difference.
5 miles an hour.
So I'm in the middle of a rural little town, and I'm sorry that I'm upset, but I don't get upset too much. Usually I get angry. I don't get afraid. But you know, and I protested a lot. I'm 50, but when I'm in my
Okay. This one's a little bit harder to hear because it sounds like it was a windy day and the wind is blowing in the microphone, but you can still definitely make out exactly what is being said.
Good afternoon. My name is Sergeant Sasser. I'm in the Brunswick County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
Doing well. Just need to see your driver's license and your vehicle registration. Yeah, the reason I'm stopping you, I thought you went 70. Speed limit here is 55. Okay. All right, I appreciate it. Yeah, your vehicle, which rental just should have a rental agreement.
I'm gonna reach in here and get
That's fine.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Thank you. And you still live in South Carolina?
Yeah, I live in South Carolina. I was in Norfolk, Virginia at a reactive tournament.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you what, just hold tight for a quick moment and I'll be right back, okay? Thanks.
So she wasn't going 70 in a 65. She was going 70 in a 55. Did you hear that racist police officer? He even said thank you.
All right, ma'am. What I have here for you is a traffic summons for Brunswick County General.
Traffic summons?
Yes, for Brunswick County General District Traffic Court. Your court date is going to be June the 6th at 10:30 for the 70 and a 55 mile per hour zone.
Where's the sign? It says it's 55 miles an hour.
Numerous places.
Numerous places where? I mean, between the gas station that it's been from.
I mean, numerous places back that way. You're more than welcome to go back there and look at them. I mean, take pictures of them, whatever you want to do.
So you didn't give me a warning. You gave me an actual ticket?
Yeah, no warnings today, ma'am. So your court date is going to be June the 6th at 10:30 for the speeding of 70 and a 55. You have the option to prepay this. I'm going to give you a phone number plus a website that has our courthouse information. If you contact our courts, they will tell you what the fine is, answer any one of your questions, and if you decide to prepay it, then you do not have to come to court. But if you want to prepay it, if you don't want to prepay it, then you have to come to court on June the 6th at 10:30.
I'll hire an attorney.
Need you to sign right here.
I'm not going to sign that.
Man. Okay.
But I don't have to sign it.
So, ma'am.
But I appreciate it.
Hold on. All right. So, what you're signing here is a promise to either come to court or a promise to prepay. It's not an admission of guilt. It's only a promise to me that you're going to get it taken care of by either coming to court or prepaying it. If you refuse to sign the summons at this point, I'm going to have to get you outside of the police car, outside of this car. I'm going to place you under arrest and take you in front of a magistrate. I will get your vehicle towed and go from there. So, yes, ma'am, you do not have a choice. You have. I don't care about that. You do not have. I don't care who's on the phone. I'm talking to you right now. You do not have a choice but to sign the summons. So once again, you're signing right there. So thank you. I knew you were going to sign it. Thank you very much. All right. Appreciate it very much. And you have a very safe day. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, so she refused to sign the summons, which he clearly said she had two choices: sign the summons and pay the tickets, or come to court and fight it later, or don't sign it, and then you can go to jail right now. You can talk to a magistrate about your ticket. Nobody likes getting a ticket, but when you're given a speeding ticket for going 15 miles an hour over the limit, and you're asked to either sign the ticket and acknowledge you'll come to court and fight it later, or prepay it, or go to jail right now, I'd probably sign the stupid ticket and figure out what I would do later. I certainly wouldn't record a Facebook Live video about it, crying while I was driving, and hallucinate that I got the speeding ticket because of my race. Doesn't look like these lunatics are going to stop anytime soon. We're going to have to keep on exposing them. So subscribe to the channel here if you're new. Check back Monday through Friday for new reports. Appreciate everybody who supports this channel. If you like watching these videos, I hope you support me by getting my shirts and my books. Click the links in the description below. Thanks for everyone who supports this channel on Patreon, PayPal, through Venmo, and the Cash app. Appreciate your support. Check back tomorrow for a new report, and I'll see you soon.
It's worth pointing out that Pope Francis was talking to a victim of Catholic sexual abuse when he reportedly told him it's okay to be gay. Why it matters. The context of the Pope's alleged statement is being overshadowed by the statement itself. The context, however, is important because it sheds light on the decades-long molestation accusations against Catholic priests, many of which turned out to be true. Look at drudgereport.com, Infowars.com, Newswars.com. We are hammering that Trump has launched a criminal investigation into Hillary and Obama spying on his campaign and then lying about it to Congress. This is thousands of times bigger than Watergate. This is seismic. This is the entire illegal spy grid, the Big Brother system, all of it in a civil war. And the media caught doubling down the lies. This will destroy whatever credibility they had left. This will bring them all down, and Trump is winning. And you got to go to drudgereport.com to find it, or Infowars.com. The judge has it all nicely laid out in the left-hand corner. Trump rips Brennan. Spy, ex-CIA chief warns McConnell and Ryan. Tia says deep state desperate. That's absolutely true. Ted Olson, constitutional crisis brewing. Rudy will be over on September 1st. Tobin, Dems, civil war over impeachment. Watchdog default FBI for Clinton probe. There is a criminal investigation. They've been caught. It's been wide open. The FBI now admits that they had a major operation, and they've named it, against Trump during the campaign. It's huge. Because until now, they've been denying it and lying about it and lying to Congress. It's massive. Meanwhile, the Pope says it's okay to be gay. God made you like this. There's an article up on Infowars.com that Kit Daniels put out, getting into the fact that the man he's telling this to was abused as a child. And so the Pope's using that as a backdrop. Is it okay to be a pedophile because you're deputy Pope, your right-hand man? just got indicted, is in a secret trial in Australia for reportedly abusing over 100 young boys, some young as 5 years old. So the Pope wants to hide behind a rainbow flag. I had the Kid Daniels article. It's on Infowars.com and Newswars.com. We can just punch that up. I'll just go to Infowars myself. Right here. I got so many papers. Sometimes it just drives me crazy. There's so many. But before I do that, please remember the broadcast. Please remember the globalists are fighting as hard as they can, try to shut down free speech, try to destroy InfoWars as an example to everybody. And when you purchase the products and when you support us, we're going to be able to expand and go 24 hours a day. I want to go about 20 hours a day at first. And we're going to be able to really reach out and find a lot of new affiliates, a lot of new people. We're going to wake up. And so this is the second American Revolution. It's going global right now. And it's the financial support that makes it all possible. Here's the deal. We have a huge special that I didn't even know about, that somebody came up with. It's massive. X2 is our best-selling product, Deep Earth, good halogen, iodine. It's 25% off, even though we're selling out of it. But you can get it with our Bio True Selenium, pure mustard seed, super strong selenium. You talk about energy, stamina, libido. It's like, I need some. A bottle ran out at home, and I swing grabbed me a bottle of Bio True Selenium. Thank you. It is 50% off when you get it together. So that is a massive discount on both Bio True Selenium. Bio True Selenium has a 4.9 review. The X2 has a 4.9 review as well by Power Reviews. It's never been a better time to try selenium and true iodine. It's all there. It's atomic iodine, pure iodine. Nobody else has got it. Infowarsstore.com or 888-253-3139.
You know, someone very profoundly once said many years ago that if fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism.
If you are receiving this transition, you are the resistance.
Hope the mainstream media feels powerful. You know this is all going on, and you do everything you can to lie about what this show broadcasts, what we cover. The blood of those children all over the world held in captivity. UN caught kidnapping 1,000 out of Haiti alone. The blood is on your hands. Leo Zagami, let me ask you this question. Who is behind this global sudden wave of thousands of pedophiles per country being caught, 10,000 plus arrests here? What is causing this massive move against pedophile rings that even MSM admits may bring down the Catholic Church?
Well, it's happening, and it's happening clearly in front of the whole world with George Pell, but it's also an internal conflict. A few days before George Pell got booted out of the Vatican, we had basically the police breaking inside the palace of the Holy Office, the ex-Inquisition, now known as the Congregation for the Matters of Faith, basically the headquarters of the most holy office in the Vatican. The police broke in and found a gay orgy, and they were using cocaine, and they basically had to arrest the secretary of a very prominent cardinal, who himself was waging war against Cardinal Pell. So there is also an internal war here. Cardinal Pell is responsible for many decades of a secret plan devised by the Vatican to give the less possible money to the victims of pedophilia and monopolize them. And he was made a member of the C9 group, which is a group of 9 cardinals. And 3 of these cardinals have been heavily criticized for having protected in the past pedophilia, including Cardinal Pell. So many people were actually astonished of seeing in February 2014 Cardinal Pell arriving in Rome, and he didn't really hide in front of the media or in front of the other people in the Vatican. He started immediately acting with a lavish lifestyle, that, of course, a lot of criticism towards Pope Francis, who wants to be this very conservative Pope who doesn't spend much money and is living in a modest surrounding. While instead, George Pell was spending money, was making all kinds of things happening that were putting really in bad light Pope Francis. But he was not taking care of any of this criticism. He put him there, and he basically became, after Secretary of State, the #3 in the Vatican. So this is the first time in history, Alex, that such a high-ranking officer, let's say, or officer of this Vatican, is put in front of a trial.
Survival Shield X2 nascent iodine. If you're interested in healthy thyroid, if you're interested to get your powerful Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com.
You found it. It's the real news with your host, David Knight.
Welcome on this Monday, May the 21st, 2018. I'm David Knight. You know, last week began with the media and the left praising Hamas for what was happening at the border with Israel. Defending the Second Amendment. We're going to talk today about what I believe is a real problem. Yes, we've got a lot of issues. We have talked many times in the past about SSRIs being the penultimate cause of all this, the thing that is never talked about. We've had some people talk a little bit about this. We had Oliver North, who's going to be the new president of the NRA, talking about Ritalin. It's way beyond Ritalin. That was